Have you ever cracked an egg into your skillet, watched it sizzle, and thought you were doing your body a favor, only to realize you might be making a critical mistake that transforms this superfood into a hidden health hazard? Eggs are regularly celebrated as one of nature's purest and most complete sources of protein, vitamins, and essential nutrients. Yet, the surprising truth is that how you store, handle, and prepare them can make the difference between boosting your health and quietly harming it. In this video, we're uncovering 5 common missteps that could be sabotaging your eggs, and by extension, your well-being, without you even knowing. Stick around, because we're not just identifying what goes wrong. We're giving you easy, game-changing tips to keep eggs both safe and outrageously nutritious. That way, you can enjoy them guilt-free and feel better every single day. Before we dive in, I would truly appreciate it if you like this video to support the channel. And if you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell notification so you don't miss any of our future insights on living a healthier, more vibrant life. If you enjoy what you see here, leave a comment below. Type 1 if you love eggs but suspect you might be making some of these mistakes, or 0 if you'd like even more in-depth content next time. Your feedback keeps this channel going. All right, let's crack into the first mistake. 1. Overcooking eggs. Among all the everyday blunders people make in the kitchen, overcooking eggs is one of the most widespread and the most underestimated. Eggs are a nutritional powerhouse, teeming with high-quality protein, beneficial fats, and a long list of essential vitamins and minerals such as choline, selenium, and vitamin D. However, subjecting your eggs to excessive heat can swiftly rob them of these prized nutrients and transform a once superb food into something substantially less wholesome. When eggs are left on the stove for too long, like frying them until the edges go dark brown, boiling them until the yolk turns grayish-green, or scrambling them over an intense flame, they undergo a process called oxidation. This oxidation alters the fat and cholesterol molecules in ways that can potentially elevate inflammation in the body. Numerous scientific studies correlate oxidized cholesterol with a higher risk of chronic ailments, including heart disease and atherosclerosis. Over time, these effects tend to build up, particularly if eggs are a staple food in your diet. If you've ever cracked open a hard-boiled egg and noticed that telltale sulfuric odor or a gray-green ring around the yolk, you've witnessed overcooking in action. Although such eggs aren't instantly poisonous or inedible, they do signal that a significant portion of the egg's nutritional profile has been compromised. Consistently eating eggs prepared like this, especially for older adults who might already be grappling with heightened inflammation or age-related concerns, can add up to notable health setbacks down the line. Real-life snapshot: Robert's breakfast habit. Robert, a 76-year-old retiree, had been frying his morning eggs on high heat until the whites crisped at the edges for decades. To him, that browned fringe was a hallmark of a perfect breakfast. Over time, however, he started experiencing more frequent bloating, occasional heartburn, and a dip in his usual morning energy. After chatting with a friend who was passionate about nutrition, Robert discovered the link between high-heat cooking and oxidized cholesterol. Curious, he decided to try a gentler approach, soft scrambling his eggs over medium-low heat and pulling them off the pan before they turned rubbery. Within weeks, he noticed less digestive distress and a surprising boost in his overall vitality. It's not only about avoiding harmful compounds. Overcooking eggs can degrade essential nutrients like vitamin B12, important for nerve function, folate necessary for DNA repair and healthy cell growth, and antioxidants such as lutein and zeaxanthin, which promote healthy eyesight and cognitive function. Overheating drastically reduces the bioavailability of these vitamins, meaning your body can't absorb as much goodness from each bite. If you rely on eggs for a large share of your daily nutrition, maybe because they're economical, versatile, and quick to prepare. This nutrient loss matters more than you'd think. You might believe you're fueling your body with a superfood, yet if you're blasting them with excessive heat, you could be getting only a shadow of the benefits they have to offer. Simple fixes to prevent overcooking. Moderate your heat. Switch that dial from high to medium-low. It may require a tad more patience, but the payoff in flavor and nutrition is worth it. Boil carefully. Instead of boiling your eggs to the point of discoloration, opt for a soft or medium boil, 6 to 7 minutes, so the yolk remains partly creamy, preserving more nutrients. Poach your eggs. Poaching keeps eggs at a gentle simmer, protecting delicate nutrients from the ravages of high heat. Pull the pan off early. For fried eggs, turn off the heat as soon as the whites become opaque and the yolk is set to your liking, rather than waiting for crispy brown edges. Ultimately, the key is to cook your eggs enough to be safe and tasty, while avoiding crossing into overcooked territory. A little mindfulness at the stove can go a long way. If you're still with me and finding these insights helpful, comment 1 below to let me know you're on board with giving your eggs a gentler cook. 2. Eating raw or undercooked eggs. There's a trend among some health enthusiasts to consume eggs raw or barely cooked, assuming that this approach preserves the full spectrum of nutrients. After all, why destroy something nature has already perfected? While its true eggs are nutrient-dense, brimming with high-grade protein, vitamin B12, vitamin D, selenium, and more, the risks of eating them undercooked, especially as we get older, can overshadow the benefits. The primary concern is exposure to dangerous bacteria, most notoriously Salmonella, which can be present on eggshells or, occasionally, inside the egg itself if the hen was infected. For a healthy 20-something, a mild Salmonella case might be an unpleasant couple of days, but for older adults with less robust immune systems, it can spiral into a severe, potentially life-threatening ordeal. Dehydration, rapid loss of nutrients through diarrhea or vomiting, and even hospitalization become real possibilities when bacterial infections take hold. A sunny side-up egg with a very runny yolk, or that tempting cookie dough you can't resist tasting, can be a gamble. Statistically, not every egg is contaminated, but when Salmonella does strike, it's brutal. Think unrelenting stomach cramps, fever, persistent vomiting, and diarrhea. Seniors in particular might struggle to bounce back. But bacterial contamination isn't the only issue. Raw egg whites contain a protein called avidin, which binds to biotin, a crucial B vitamin involved in metabolism and hair, skin, and nail health, preventing the body from absorbing it. Over time, large amounts of raw egg whites might nudge you toward a biotin deficiency, and you'd never suspect eggs, the very food you thought was helping you, were part of the problem. Cooking neutralizes avidin, ensuring you benefit from the egg's full array of vitamins. Real-life snapshot. Margaret's smoothie disaster. Margaret, a spirited 68-year-old with an active lifestyle, routinely tossed a raw egg or two into her morning smoothie to maximize nutrition. She enjoyed the energy kick until one unfortunate morning, she found herself trapped in a cycle of nausea and vomiting that worsened by the hour. A doctor's visit confirmed Salmonella. Shocked and weakened, Margaret swore off raw eggs and started thoroughly cooking them instead, scrambled, poached, or boiled. She soon realized that her energy levels rebounded just fine without the bacterial risk. But what about cage-free or organic eggs? While those options can have other advantages, like higher omega-3 levels or more humane treatment of hens, they're still not immune to bacterial contamination. Salmonella and other pathogens can lurk even in pristine-looking shells. The only foolproof defense is applying adequate heat to kill off bacteria. Practical ways to stay safe. Cook thoroughly. Scramble eggs until they're firm. Boil until both yolk and white are solid, or poach them at a gentle simmer. Use pasteurized eggs. If you absolutely must have a runny yolk or raw egg recipe, like certain sauces or homemade mayo, use pasteurized eggs, which are heat-treated to kill bacteria. Store properly, keep eggs chilled in the coldest part of your refrigerator, not the door, and ensure the temperature doesn't fluctuate. Avoid tasting raw batter. Resist licking that spoon when baking. Those raw eggs can harbor surprises you'd rather not ingest. If you're still tuned in and you appreciate these insights, let me know by commenting too. Small shifts in how you prepare eggs can make a profound difference in safeguarding your health. 3. Storing cooked eggs improperly. A common assumption is that once eggs are cooked, they're perfectly safe. Unfortunately, improper storage can turn yesterday's breakfast into a bacteria-ridden threat, especially if you tend to cook in bulk and eat leftovers over time. The reality is that cooked eggs, when left out too long or stored carelessly in the fridge, create a welcoming environment for harmful bacteria like Salmonella, Listeria, and E. coli. Bacteria flourish in the so-called danger zone of 40 degrees F to 140 degrees F. If you leave that plate of scrambled eggs on your kitchen counter for a couple of hours, or you store them in a container that allows moisture to collect, you could be setting the stage for a bacterial explosion. What might look and smell fine can still be teeming with microbes. For older individuals or anyone with a compromised immune system, this can lead to serious consequences, intense bouts of food poisoning, extended dehydration, or worse. Real-life snapshot: George's meal prep mishap. George, a 72-year-old retiree, prided himself on getting a jump start on his weekly meals. Every Sunday, he prepared a big batch of scrambled eggs, then stored them in a loosely covered bowl at the front of the fridge to reheat each morning. Initially, it saved time and seemed perfectly safe, but George soon began experiencing minor stomach cramps, occasional nausea, and uncomfortable bloating. After revisiting his cooking routine, he realized his storage method was the likely culprit. The eggs weren't sealed in an airtight container, and they sat in a part of the fridge prone to temperature changes. Once George switched to airtight containers and consumed his prepared eggs within just a few days, his stomach troubles went away. Why proper storage matters. Rapid bacterial growth, even a couple of hours at room temperature, can allow pathogens to multiply at shocking speed, doubling every 20 minutes under the right conditions. Vulnerability of older adults. Seniors often have weaker immune responses and can't fight off infections as effectively, so a minor slip can lead to major problems. Cross-contamination danger. Cooked eggs placed near leaking raw meat, unwashed vegetables, or other contaminant-prone items can pick up harmful bacteria even after you've already cooked them. Safe storage tips. Refrigerate quickly. Get your cooked eggs into a sealed container and into the fridge within 2 hours of cooking, 1 hour if the weather's especially warm. Use airtight containers. This prevents extra moisture from getting in and wards off odor or bacteria from other foods. Keep them cold. Store eggs in the coldest section of the fridge, not in the door. Eat within 3-4 days. While hard-boiled eggs with shells intact can last up to a week, scrambled eggs, omelets, and fried eggs have a shorter safe window, usually 3 or 4 days. Warming them up again can be tricky, too. If you reheat eggs in the microwave, you risk uneven heating and potential overcooking or dryness. A gentler option: warm them on the stovetop over low heat with a touch of butter or a small splash of water to maintain moisture. Doing so preserves their nutritional value and taste while avoiding rubbery texture or spots that might not heat thoroughly enough to kill bacteria. Let me know if these tips are striking a chord. Comment 3 if you've ever left out cooked eggs a bit too long or stored them in a not-so-ideal way. It's a simple fix once you're aware of it. 4. Using damaged or expired eggs. One of the fastest ways to turn a healthy meal into a dangerous gamble is by using eggs that are cracked, old, or have been compromised in transit. Although an egg might look okay at first glance, hidden cracks or subtle spoilage can create the perfect breeding ground for bacteria like Salmonella, and you might not even notice until it's too late. Many people rely on the expiration or best by dates on egg cartons. While these dates are helpful, they're not a 100% guarantee of safety. Eggs can spoil if they've been stored at the wrong temperature, either at the store, on the journey home, or in your own fridge. They can also remain fresh slightly beyond the printed date if handled flawlessly. So, it's essential to combine date checks with common sense methods for inspecting your eggs. The water test. A reliable trick to check egg freshness is the water test. Fill a bowl with cold water and carefully place the egg in it. Sinks and lies flat, it's still fresh. Sinks but stands upright. It's on the edge, use it soon or consider discarding. Floats, it's spoiled, toss it immediately. Real-life snapshot, Evelyn's close call. Evelyn, 74, had always been diligent about her diet, avoiding overly processed food and sugary snacks. Still, she didn't think much about checking egg quality beyond the printed date. One morning, she cracked an egg into her skillet and noticed a faint sulfur smell, but convinced herself it would cook off. A few hours later, she was overcome by intense stomach pains and spent days recovering. After a doctor's visit revealed food poisoning from a bad egg, Evelyn started doing the water test on every egg before cracking. She hasn't had a single bad egg experience since, handling tips and red flags. Check for cracks, even a hairline fracture can invite bacteria. Inspect shells carefully, look and smell. A noticeably cloudy white, pinkish or off-color yolk or foul odor means you should discard the egg. Consider temperature shifts. If eggs sit out at room temperature for long stretches or near a warming oven, bacteria can proliferate. Store in the coldest part of your fridge, not the door, which fluctuates every time it's opened. Some folks might argue that if an egg looks fine, it's probably safe. However, plenty of issues can lurk beneath an intact-looking shell. Eggs pass through various stages: laid by the hen, collected, packaged, shipped to the store, stocked, purchased, and transported home. Any temperature mishandling along that chain can facilitate bacterial growth. By carefully inspecting each egg before use and storing them properly at home, you dramatically cut down on the possibility of nasty surprises. If you're still following and this section has opened your eyes, drop a 4 in the comments. Even if you've never personally encountered a spoiled egg, staying cautious is always better than dealing with the aftermath of foodborne illness. 5. Combining eggs with unhealthy cooking oils. Eggs by themselves pack a remarkable nutritional punch, but how you cook them and what you cook them with can undermine their health benefits. A very common misstep is pairing eggs with highly processed, low-quality oils, such as generic vegetable oil blends, soybean oil, corn oil, or the cheapest canola oil you can find on the supermarket shelf. While these are often budget-friendly, they break down rapidly at cooking temperatures, generating harmful compounds like trans fats, oxidized lipids, and free radicals. These compounds have been tied to inflammation and chronic diseases, including heart disease, arthritis, and even cognitive decline. They can be particularly concerning for older adults who may already be facing rising inflammation levels due to age-related changes. Pairing eggs already containing cholesterol that can oxidize under high heat with an unstable oil amplifies potential harm. Real-life snapshot. Frank's frying switch. Frank, 78, spent most of his life cooking eggs in whatever oil was handy, usually the cheapest blend, sometimes margarine. After attending a senior center talk on healthier cooking, he learned that these processed oils can morph into inflammatory triggers when heated. Intrigued, Frank swapped his old oil for extra virgin olive oil and, on occasion, real butter. He found that not only did his eggs taste richer, but he also noticed he felt less sluggish after breakfast. Surprisingly, small digestive issues he'd assumed were just a sign of aging began to subside. The smoke point factor. When an oil reaches its smoke point, the temperature at which it begins to break down chemically, it forms potentially toxic byproducts. Some vegetable oils have lower smoke points and quickly degrade when you cook eggs on a hot skillet, turning what should be a wholesome meal into a mini chemistry experiment. Over time, ingesting these byproducts can take a toll, especially if you're cooking eggs this way every morning. More stable alternatives. Butter or ghee, traditional favorites that add flavor and contain beneficial nutrients like vitamin A. They're relatively stable at moderate temperatures. Extra virgin olive oil, celebrated for heart-healthy monounsaturated fats and antioxidants, great for medium heat cooking. Avocado oil offers a high smoke point and a mild flavor, ideal for frying eggs with less worry of oxidation. Coconut oil, rich in medium-chain triglycerides, MCTs, quite stable at high heat, though it has a distinct coconut flavor. Switching to a higher quality fat can genuinely change the nutritional profile of your eggs. It's a small step with potentially big long-term benefits, especially if you're looking to keep inflammation at bay. Are you still watching? Drop a 5 if you're planning to try cooking your next batch of eggs with a healthier fat. It might seem like a small detail, but it can dramatically improve both taste and nutritional value. Conclusion and final CTA. We've just explored 5 seemingly simple mistakes: overcooking, eating eggs raw, storing cooked eggs haphazardly, using damaged or expired eggs, and choosing the wrong cooking oils that can stealthily undermine the health benefits of one of nature's most remarkable foods. Eggs, when treated with care and respect, can be a nutrient-rich cornerstone of your daily diet. All it takes is some awareness, a gentle hand on the stovetop, and consistent attention to the details of storage and preparation. Bringing it all together. Cook eggs gently. Avoid blasting them with searing heat until they're rubbery or have that greenish yolk ring. Steer clear of raw. Unless they're pasteurized, raw or undercooked eggs can harbor bacteria that pose serious risks. Storage is key. Chill your cooked eggs promptly, keep them sealed, and eat them within a safe window to prevent bacterial growth. Inspect your eggs. Use the water test and look for cracks, odd odors, or unusual colors to steer clear of spoiling issues. Choose good oils. Opt for stable, high-quality fats that won't degrade and form harmful compounds under heat. What's your biggest takeaway? Have you been unknowingly sabotaging your eggs? Maybe you tend to overcook them just to be safe, or perhaps you never realized how storing cooked eggs for too long can make them risky. Or maybe today is the day you finally switch from cheap oils to healthier alternatives. We'd love to know which change you're going to try first. Drop a comment below and share one insight you've gained from this video. If you found value here, please like, share, and subscribe. And to truly stay in the loop, turn on notifications so you won't miss upcoming videos on nutrition, wellness, and simple tips for living your best life at any age. Your support makes it possible for us to keep creating meaningful content. Thanks so much for watching and for giving your eggs and your health the extra care they deserve. Here's to turning every egg into a delicious, nutritious start to the day. Remember, small changes can snowball into significant improvements over time, especially when it comes to everyday meals like eggs. We appreciate you sticking with us through all 5 mistakes and the solutions that can keep you on track. Until next time, take good care, and we'll see you in the next video.